Senior from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Number 10, Thiago Elias. A 6-foot senior from Tucker, Georgia's number 14, Julian Rugel. 6'4" junior from Fayetteville, Georgia, number 23, Matthew Sherry. A 5'9" junior from Weston, Florida, number 2, J.P. Merlette. 5'10" senior from Fayetteville, Georgia, number 5, Nick Bodka. 5'11" sophomore from El Paso, Texas, number 6, Zay Harris. A 6'2" junior from Thomaston, Georgia, number 9, Dylan Marshall. A 5'11" senior from Salvador, Brazil, number 11, Matias Alves. 6-foot junior from Thomaston, Georgia, number 12, Caleb Zolman. A 5'10" junior from Porto Alegre, Brazil, number 18, Rafael Faria. And a 5'8" senior from Tyrone, Georgia, number 20, Chris Avery. Head coach of the Canes in his 12th season, Warren Russ. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would ask that you please rise and join both schools here this evening as we honor America through the playing of our national anthem. A couple of quick announcements for you, ladies and gentlemen. And for those of you new to the facility, the restrooms are located back across the street. The brick building behind home plate at the softball complex has your restroom facilities. The doors, white doors, are facing the soccer field. So again, restrooms across the street. If you have friends or family that couldn't make the trip to Americus, they can follow the action wherever they may be. We are live right now on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is GSW Athletics. But you can find those links on our website, both live stats and live videos streaming available. GSWCanes.com is the website, GSWCanes.com. If you're on a mobile device, a little calendar in the top right corner. Otherwise, scroll down to today's match. Click on either the live stats and or live video link, and you'll be set up and ready to watch the action again wherever you may be. GSWCanes.com is the website. Enjoy the first half. Make some noise because it is GSW match time. And a good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live in Americus, Georgia. Thanks for joining us tonight. Non-conference men's soccer matchup here on tap. It's the visiting Badgers from Spring Hill College. They come in with a record of 4-1. They're taking on your Georgia Southwestern State University Hurricanes. The Canes 2-3-1 overall this season. Georgia Southwestern has lost their last 2 matches. Look to get back on the right track here. A challenging foe that they haven't necessarily fared well against in a series that's just starting to get rolling. A couple of years here that we have met the Badgers, and they come make the trip to Americus tonight. Again, 4-1 overall, the mark. Well, perhaps you heard us introduce the starters here. We'll recap the starters for both teams in just a moment. I can run down actually as play rolls along. We'll give you the starting 11 for head coach Steve Wizorik, his 4th season for the Badgers. As you're watching tonight's broadcast, you probably already put 2 and 2 together, but for those of you unaware, Georgia Southwestern wearing their white Adidas tops tonight. Their navy shorts, white socks with collegiate navy trim. Spring Hill pretty much down in black from head to toe with the white stripe across the shoulders. And their starting 11 tonight goes a little something like this. Senior number 5, Jack LaForge, is joined on the pitch tonight by freshman number 6, Cyril Giroux. Junior number 7, Alex Lipinski, also gets the start. Freshman number 8, Sasha Ducroix. Number 10, senior Tillman Schober, joined by defender sophomore number 11, Matthew Moreno. In the goal, in between the pipes, tonight for the Badgers is 6'5", freshman Alessandro Erdelli. We're at number 13. Badgers with a little something going on there. The Hurricanes will kick it out, and a goal kick coming up for the Hurricanes. Joining Erdelli on the pitch, number 14, Vasil Kokali. Number 17, Josh Pedretti, a freshman. Sophomore, number 21, Zach Witt. And a freshman, number 22, LD Ciretti. So that's a look at your starting 11 for the visiting Badgers. They've kind of sprinkled in a very global roster. Alves tries to get a little something going. He'll get a shot off, but not a lot behind it, and it'll roll for an easy save for Erdelli here in the early going. Louisiana, France, Germany, New Jersey, Italy, Canada, and Italy. All the home states and or nations for the visiting Badgers here tonight. Things finally starting to cool down in Americus. It was very warm earlier this afternoon, temperatures in the mid-90s. And now we're finally just starting to get a little relief here at kickoff time. So glad that we have our first season under the lights here at Hurricane Field. Would have been brutal for these guys to be out here 1:30, 3:30, middle of the afternoon kind of matchup. So things getting a little bit better. Not a cloud in the sky, right above us anyway. Some thin clouds off in the distance. Lights are on, shadows creeping in, and some good soccer awaits. At the next stoppage in play, or a little bit of a break in the action, we'll run down the graphic in the roster of the starting 11 for Georgia Southwestern. We'll give you another peek at those starters in case you're just joining us. We'll wait for a little break to give us an opportunity to throw that slide in.
as we look back for the Badgers in this one. All eyes will be on number 7, Alex Lipinski. He's the leading scorer for the Badgers here in the early going this season. 6 goals, 2 assists. And when he gets a look, he pretty much converts, or at least converts at a good rate. 12 shots on goal, 6 have gone in. Also, fans, don't forget, if you someone who likes to have the numbers in front of it, little stats action, there is a live stats feed as well on our website. You can find the link in the calendar portion of the website, and that would be gswcanes.com, gswcanes.com. Lofting ball in. Sherry will go up and pick it out of the sky. Quick throw down to Zay Harris. And the Hurricanes will look to push it over the midfield stripe. Good ball, good shot, diving effort. Let's go ahead and give you a look at those starters, the starting 11 for head coach Warren Russ and the Hurricanes. We got a Matthew Sherry in between the pipes tonight. He's joined on the field by Zay Harris, Nick Bodka, Julian Rugel, J.P. Merlette, Caleb Zolman, Rafael Faria, Thiago Elias, Chris Avery, Dylan Marshall, and Mateus Alves. Those are your starters for the Hurricanes as that corner kick is short. The shot, the save, and Sherry falls on that one. So the Hurricanes come free and clear on the first corner kick of the evening. One taken by Spring Hill. As we're just over 37 minutes left until the break. Zolman wanted a handball call as the keep, but no call made on Elvis. And on the counter now will be Spring Hill. So the Hurricanes will get their first corner kick of the evening. We'll take a look at, we kind of mentioned Lipinski being a top offensive threat for Spring Hill. We'll introduce you to Mateus Alves here in just a moment. We'll give you a little peek at Alves as some of his stats coming in as he counters Lipinski as the Hurricanes' leading scorer this season. Alves, number 11, will be a good chance to introduce you to Mateus Alves. Senior transfer, playing in his first season for the Hurricanes, leads the team this season. He has 4 goals, 3 assists. You saw his shots per game, about 3.5. And he's logged a good bit of minutes already for the Hurricanes. So he's the leading scorer for GSW. And a nice pickup for the Hurricanes again. Unfortunately, we only get to keep Alves around for a year. It's been a good start for him. We'll see if he can get number 5 here this afternoon, or evening rather. Got to get back used to saying that. Long pass, nice pass. It'll be Merlette down in the corner defensively trying to hold ground. Waits for these reinforcements, and a good job by the Hurricanes to clear it out. Rugel gets in there, one of the Hurricane captains today. Senior defender Julian Rugel. Trying to find Dylan Marshall. We'll give you a peek. Marshall right behind Alves for his scoring offensively. The junior, 3 goals, 2 assists. He's logged 285 minutes and a little bit higher shot per game count, 3.8 for Dylan Marshall so far. He's going to see if he can catch Alves for the team lead. Tries to get around Merlette. Down to the corner, going to run out of real estate. And a goal kick coming up for the Hurricanes. That's a good chance to introduce you to the new keeper. Although this is not his first action of the game, but of the season, but number 23, Matthew Sherry. Between the pipes for Georgia Southwestern, the junior has only appeared in 4 matches, a 1.64 goals against average this season for Sherry. Getting a start, working his way into the lineup. 1.64 goals against average. He's made 4 saves. His save percentage at .667. And again, this is his second start of the season with the Hurricanes holding that 2-3-1 record. I've been told the Lady Hurricanes took an early lead. They're opening up Peach Belt Conference play at Clayton State in Morrow, Georgia. 1-0 the early score there from Ella Hawkins. So that's a great start. Hopefully the Lady Canes and head coach Enrique Rodriguez can hang in there and add to their tally. Nice little move by Marshall. He's going to bring it back in the middle. The kick up in the air, just over the crossbar. So you've met a couple of the Hurricanes. Let's introduce you to kind of the wingman for Marshall, number 12, Caleb Zolman. Zolman, a junior from Thomaston, Georgia. He's third on the team with 2 goals, but his minutes have been pretty low, 65, 1 shot per game. He's been very efficient. Just 65 minutes as Zolman has missed the first couple games of the season. He's only appeared in 3 contests so far this year, so been a very good boost to the Georgia Southwestern offense. 2 goals in just 65 minutes of action for number 12, Zolman. We'll see if he can go tonight. He gets the start. Cross into the middle. 21 with a close flick. Nice job by Sherry to dive to his right, make the stop. Big time play. A really nice flick by number 21 inside near the 6-yard box. Zach Witt with that attempt. Well, we're under 30 minutes now. Another corner kick coming up for the Badgers. It'll be Tillman Schober. Taking the kick for Spring Hill. This one bouncing through. Thankfully gets all the way to the backside. Now a flick and turn. So somehow that found its way through all of the traffic, but too hard of an angle for LaForge to do anything with it. Hurricanes will get it back. And an offsides on Spring Hill. So I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Hurricanes have lost 2 in a row. Their last 2 matches have both come by way of a 2-1 defeat. Last Wednesday they lost 2-1, a tough one to Middle Georgia. And then over the weekend on Saturday night, it was a 2-1 loss to Talladega College. So this is the final match of a 3-match homestand for the Hurricanes. They'd like to see if they could salvage at least a win here. They won their first match under the lights on a hectic, wild, and fun and exciting evening here at Hurricane Field. Again, the lights get flicked on for the first time, and that was back on September 5th against Bruton Parker. 2 goals in the second half gave the Hurricanes a 2-0 victory. That was the first of 2 in a row for the Hurricanes. They won against Bruton Parker, or won against Bruton Parker 2-0, then at Pensacola Christian, a 5-3 win. So 2 in a row, but now followed up with 2 straight losses, 2-3-1 overall for Georgia Southwestern. Spring Hill, as I mentioned, 4-1. Their only loss, a 4-0 loss at home against Rollins College. But they opened up the season with 3 straight wins, including a win over fellow Peach Belt Conference school Flagler at Flagler, 2-0. 2-0, then 2-1, a victory over ranked number 23, the University of Tampa. An impressive win over a ranked opponent on the road, 2-1 win there. 5-2 over Louisiana College, so they opened the season 3-0. That loss to Rollins put them at 3-1, and then in their last match, it was back on Sunday afternoon, against Union. It was a Gulf South Conference matchup, 3-2 victory at home for Spring Hill to get them to where they're at now at 4-1. So with the clock stopped, let's go ahead and take a look at how these teams match up. A couple of the stat categories. We'll take a look at our matchup between the Badgers and the Hurricanes. On paper, anyway, it's been pretty even here in the early going. The stats comparison between the two. So Georgia Southwestern and Spring Hill both in the 2s when it comes to goals per game. Slight edge for the Badgers. Badgers with a bigger gap, I guess you could say, between the goals scored and goals allowed. Shots per game, however, the Hurricanes have gotten a couple extra off on average so far this season. Shot percentage, though, favors the Badgers as well as the shots on goal. Corner kicks, both teams doing well, but a slight edge to the Badgers in that category. They haven't had to make a whole lot of saves, doubling up their opponents. And Georgia Southwestern has forced more opponent saves so far this season. Play about to resume again, so kind of the ups and downs of the stats comparison there. Here in the early going of this one, though, Spring Hill has doubled up the Hurricanes. 6-3 the shots tally at this point in the match. And on now for another attempt, perhaps the Badgers moving in, looking for the cross. Merlette's going to get whistled for the foul. (6-3) again, the shots tally favoring Spring Hill. Corners in favor of the Badgers, 2-1. They were whistled for 1 offsides, and that's going to be the first foul of the evening. Things have evened up to Clayton State, 1-1 in that one. For in the women's match, curls it in. Right there's 22 to punch it in, and an early goal. Spring Hill takes the lead. They found the hole. They found the gap. They needed to put that one in, and it'll be a goal by number 22. Looks like the assist will go to number 10. So Spring Hill takes advantage of the foul by Merlette. Spring Hill goal scored by number 22, L.D. Sietti. Assist Tillman Schober. Well, the Hurricanes are in an early hole. 1-0 now. Still plenty of time in the match. We're about halfway through the opening half. 1 quarter complete, if you will. But that penalty comes back to hurt the Hurricanes. And well-placed ball that just found the far post. And right there on the line to punch it in was Sietti. Let's take a look at how he has fared. So for Sietti, that'll be his first goal of the season. First goal for L.D. Sietti. This is 4th start of the season. Shot fired, wide right. Let me see. Maybe we'll see if we got to brighten up our screens a little bit. Let's see if we're getting to that point. Yeah. You already did? Okay. As it darkens up, we'll get the screen a little bit lighter for you. That'll help with the view. Under 21 and a half to go until the break. See if we can take a look at how these two teams fared last year when they met. So it's pretty much been a series, a young series that's been controlled so far by the Badgers. Last time these two teams met, as there's an injury, clock now stopped. Clock will be stopped at 18:38. So at the end of September last year, these two teams met in Mobile, and the Hurricanes lost 5-1 to the Badgers. See if there's any familiar faces there as far as scoring. Last year, Lipinski actually put 2 between the pipes for the Badgers. So Lipinski had 2 goals against the Hurricanes, took 4 shots on goal, punched 2 of them in only one half of action, 45 minutes. Looks like the other players that scored have moved on, no longer with the Badgers. So 2 of the 5 goals scored by a current player. Hurricanes' goal last year was scored by Thiago Elias. So we'll see if he can fare well in his attempt to score again and have some good fortunes against Spring Hill. For those of you who haven't followed, Elias is number 10 for the Hurricanes. Now following the ball. Big kick from just outside the 18, rolls right at the goal. And Sherry will stroll down and pick it up as we are under 18 now until the halftime break. Spring Hill members of the Gulf South Conference in soccer. Otherwise, they're a member of the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, the SIAC. in all their other sports or sports offered by that conference. But they're not no men's soccer conference there in the SIAC, so they take part in Gulf South for conference play. First substitutions of the game. Offsides, the call on Spring Hill. Don't forget, fans, if you are tuning in and you're rooting for the Hurricanes, if you're not already a subscriber to this YouTube channel, which is GSW Athletics, you can always find us at doing a search for GSW Athletics on YouTube. But go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That way, if you so choose, you don't have to set a timer. You don't have to worry about putting it in your phone. You don't have to worry about reminding yourself to check in. You can choose to get an alert for when we go live, and that way if there's any kind of a delay, if there's, for instance, we've already had one delay this year where Lightning delayed warm-ups and the whole match got pushed behind. Well, if you're a subscriber to this channel, you'll know exactly when we go live and when we're on the air, and it'll be ready just in time for opening kickoff. So subscribe, red button, do it, subscribe, and enjoy. Thank you to the 500 plus that are already on board and subscribers to this channel, the flagship station here as part of the Surge Sports Network. You see the SSN around, the Surge Sports Network, the home right here on and hub of the network right here on YouTube. While you're doing a search for GSW Athletics, you can remember, make a note of that one, because GSW Athletics is also how you can find us on Twitter. So if you are a Twitter user, check us out at GSW Athletics. We are on Facebook and Instagram as well, but it's a little different on those two platforms. Facebook and Instagram users would have to find us at GSW Hurricanes. Facebook, Instagram, it's GSW Hurricanes. Another substitution about to happen here for Spring Hill. Number 12, Diogo Sousa, waiting to check in to the match for Spring Hill. On the break again, here comes the Badgers, trying to find the man. Seven will have to get back on side. Now he does so. Elias gets the ball back for Georgia Southwestern. Foul on Faria, or foul. Faria is fouled. There's a better way to say it. Hurricanes will put the ball down. Get it back into play. Well, the folks that are fanning themselves on the bleachers across the way that you can see, still going at it, but not as many fanning themselves here. Probably more at this point trying to get the gnats away. Those South Georgia gnats can be very annoying, and so they're, in addition to being a little warm, probably more so to keep the bugs away. But as the temperatures drop a little bit, we're starting to see a little pickup in the attendance as folks are starting to come in, find a spot on the hill or in the bleachers and take in the action here, cheer the Hurricanes in what'll have to be a comeback effort, trailing 1-0. Nice long pass out here, the run down to the corner. Gonna save it in time, and it's gonna go off of Spring Hill, and a goal kick for Georgia Southwestern. Checking into the match for Spring Hill is number 12, Diogo Sousa. Portugal, Estoril, Portugal, the hometown for Diogo. Little give and go. Badgers got the numbers. It was 4-on-2. Now the white jerseys dip back a little bit. The ball back in play. And we'll take it to the far side of the field. Little flick back to 6. The pass intercepted across the way. And that's Pedro Chung, who has checked into the match for the Hurricanes. Chung, number 13, across the way. Now just trailing the ball slightly. The kick to the right. Sherry makes the diving stop before it. I think that one might have still went a little bit left. But Sherry keeps it in, and now we'll give it a good boot. Nice high punt, well over the midfield stripe. Header goes out. Hurricanes will make a substitution. Couple of subs actually coming in for Georgia Southwestern. We'll announce it for the folks in attendance. Checking into the match for the Hurricanes is number 8, Shane Madre, and number 16, Manuel Duran. So Madre, senior from Jessup, Georgia. Seeing a little action now here to close out the first half, as well as the 6'2 junior from Columbus, Georgia, in Manuel Duran. Madre almost got it around him. Harris will finally get over there, and the kick. One hops, get it out of there. There's Merlette to drop it off to Chung. As the Hurricanes move it out of harm's way. Walk it down the line and get another throw in for the Hurricanes. Under 10 to go now in the first half. Numbers favored the Badgers, and they'll get the ball back. Fighting his way through is Divin Moak, who has checked in for the Hurricanes a little bit earlier. He was in that first bunch that came in. Divin Moak, sophomore from Norcross, Georgia. Product of Norcross High School. Moak provided a little offensive output last year for the Hurricanes. This season, Moak has 1 goal and is can be a threat for the Hurricanes at especially coming off the bench with some fresh legs when he gets in. A good spark for GSW offensively. Shot by Chung, going to go out of play. And a sub coming in for Spring Hill. Looks like it's going to be number 19 checking into the match. And it will. George Brown from York, England. Hartwick College looking now. He'll get to make that substitution, I believe. Pass in, Bodka. Nice shot by Sherry. Corner kick coming up. Spring Hill substitution checking into the match is number 19, George Brown. So Brown finally gets to make that substitution right here on the corner kick. Ball is down, hands are up, and here's the kick. This one's going to was going to say, have to bounce its way through if it was going to get through. And a warm welcome. Austin Martinez, new subscriber shot. Just outside the far post. Almost got one, that one in on the corner. Sherry makes the diving effort to keep it out. A little too far wide, though, and a goal kick coming up for the Hurricanes. So another subscriber, welcome, 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 and thank you for being part of the Surge Sports Network. Well, the Hurricanes got a 6 minutes to make a push here and try to even this thing up, taking it into the break. It's been a lot of Spring Hill offense on this end of the field, however. So far in the first half, especially the nice header. Wow, and they'll get him for the offsides call. Almost had the header in, and it looked as I couldn't tell if they were saying like Sherry was too far in. It was already, past the goal line, or what the case may be, and it was not that. It was just that Spring Hill had gotten behind him and was offsides on that nice header attempt. So a close crack at 2 goals right there for Spring Hill, or to make it a 2-goal game. Thankfully, it's still 1. 5 minutes to go until the break, and the Hurricanes trying to get something going offensively. It's been a game controlled so far offensively by Spring Hill. And here they go again. Nice deflection on the defensive effort there. Bodka gets it out. Can Madre do something with it? Hurricanes, as he pulls up. Hurricanes didn't quite have the numbers. Looked like it was about 2-on-4, but still try to press forward and see if they can get through. And a nice play right there to kick it out. Hurricanes will have to set it up and do something off the throw-in. Vodka back to Sherry. Sherry will flick it out to the side of his foot. Try to go the other way. Merlette down in the far side along the sideline. Will get the throw in. 3.5, or approaching 3.5 to go until the break. And they'll move him a few paces back. Merlette with always with a nice long throw, good flick. He's been, when the Hurricanes can get it a little farther down the field, he's been able to throw it into the 18 with ease. And it's nice to have a threat out there on a throw-in that you can still get one possibly set up for an open look and an open kick. So Merlette will take it this time a little just inside the midfield stripe. Foul called on the Hurricanes. It'll go the other way. Header out, throw in coming for the Badgers. Yeah, move him back a little bit. Headed away, another look. see what Mo can do. Chung to a Botka to Elias. Excuse me, that's actually Duran with the ball now. Nope, not Duran. Faria. My mistake. Faria 18, Duran 16. Both in the game. But back to Spring Hill the ball goes. So we approach a minute and a half. Sherry will just come up and fall on that one. And we'll make the obligatory announcement as we reach 1 minute remaining in the first half. 1 minute. Kick in, headed away. Just a relentless assault by the fellows in black here in the opening session. Let's take a look at your stats coming in here. 13-3 the shot count at this point in the match. Sherry's had to make 5 saves. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Well, that'll do it for the first half of action. It's offensively been in favor of the Badgers, but the score manageable. 1-0 favor of the visitors from Spring Hill College. We'll take a break for our halftime. We'll be back in just under 15 minutes. Enjoy the break. We'll get you a couple of videos to pass the time, and then you can take part and watch a little bit of our chipping challenge. We'll have to throw the microphone on mute so that YouTube does not flag us for any music we might be playing at the break. So set your timers, 14:40 until the kickoff of second half. We'll be back here shortly from Hurricane Field. You're watching Georgia Southwestern State University men's soccer on the Surge Sports Network.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Opportunity to me means doing the things that will make you a better future. I always dreamed of graduating from college. So being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed was paying off. Having an athletic scholarship for the University of Mount Olive was key for my success. I had the opportunity to not only get an education, but be able to develop as an individual.
So second half underway here from Hurricane Field. Georgia Southwestern will have to dig into Coach Russ into his bag of tricks, see what we can come up with to try to get a little offensive movement here in the final 45. It's been a first half that's been controlled offensively by the Badgers, but again, Georgia Southwestern hanging around, still only one goal out of this thing. Last year at Spring Hill, over there in Mobile, Alabama. Ooh, good save by Sherry. It was a 5-1 result. So an offsides whistled on Spring Hill, and we'll move it back. Hurricanes will try to get it across the midfield stripe and get a little offensive work in, although, again, that's the thing. It just could take one loose ball, one breakaway, one opportunity to even this thing up, despite it being a half that's been controlled so far, or a match that's been controlled by the Badgers. As we're kind of peeking around the outside, it looks like many of the same starters are in for Georgia Southwestern. You've got Merlette right under our nose, throwing that one in. Rugel in the back. Defensively, along with Bodka and Zay Harris. In the midfield, Faria, Duran, Elias, Avery. And there's Moak, who finished the first half, saw some significant time. The cross, shot attempt, punched over the goal by Dylan Marshall. I think that just about covers it. Sherry still between the pipes for Georgia Southwestern. Nope, actually, my mistake. That was not Dylan Marshall. That was Caleb Zolman over there on the far side across the field from our broadcast tower. Try to get a little something going. There's Elias down in the corner. Back to Zolman. Zolman to the middle. Knocked out by the Badgers. First one there will be Hurricane player. Ordelli still the keeper for Spring Hill to open up the second half. Try to call out the numbers as we see them. Pedretti, a starter here, 17. We've got number 6, Giroux, starter. Number 14, Kokali on the defensive end. It's another starter, as well as number 11, Matthew Moreno. Number 10, Tillman Schober, here just right under our tower, the near side of our screen, coming towards you now. Up forward is 19, George Brown. He came in later in the latter part of the first half. Number 7, Alex Lipinski, the big leading scorer by far for Spring Hill. And if you hadn't heard earlier, he scored a pair of goals last year when these teams met. It's been quiet so far, at least on the Hurricanes have done a good job to at least try to keep him in check. Lipinski in the match here, starter, and now, of course, to open up the second half as well. Cross, headed away. Faria takes it, gets it to his feet. This one coming up towards the tower is going to bounce just in front of us. Flicking it back. Kokali with it. He'll take it back to the middle. (22) LD Sieti. Anchoring the back line. Gets around Avery, shot, one hops. Whew. Thankfully it doesn't bounce too far away from Sherry, who's able to get back up and get a hold of it for the charging Badger coming in to try to tap it in on the rebound. Lots of black jerseys now on this end. It's going to be tough. Moak's got to do a lot of work on his own. He'll bring it back over on the near side here to Avery. Our near side anyway. Give and go with Avery. We'll get a chance. There's the cross. Just a little too far out in front, I believe, of Moak. Moak the intended target, but the two can't connect. And here comes Merlette. One of those trademark throw-ins. Let's see if he can get that one. This one deep into the 18 for the Hurricanes. There's the throw. Headed up. First touch actually was by Spring Hill. And now they'll run the other way. Lead pass down to Schober. Schober gets around a man. Now he'll bring it in. The shot. Sherry block. Kick followed up over the goal. Over the crossbar, and that would have been Lipinski if he could have punched it in. But the follow-up goes up over the top. Sherry's been staying busy here in the second half and has done a great job. So crisis averted from the Hurricanes on that exchange. 37 minutes, or just about, remaining in regulation. And welcome aboard, Mahana. Thank you for the follow, the subscription. We appreciate it. And unfortunately, we won't be able to send you that live alert until October 3rd. That's when the Hurricanes are home again. Follow-up. Really putting the pressure on Sherry and the Hurricanes now. The Badgers have gotten a few good looks and close calls here in the opening minutes of half number 2. So the Hurricanes will be the beneficiary of an offsides on that one, and they'll get to put it down and get it back in play. As we get a little farther along in the half, we'll take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Hurricanes. Again, this was the end of 3 in a row at home, so now they'll have to take their talents on the road and try to pick up some wins there. Challenging stretch, and you won't see the Hurricanes at home again until October 3rd. First Wednesday of October, and that'll be what'll now be a rare afternoon match, the only afternoon match of the season against the Shaw Bears. This the inaugural season under the lights here at Hurricane Field. kick away by Sherry. It'll get to the shin guard of Moak, but bounce back on the defensive side. And now the Badgers will work on swinging it around to the near side here towards our tower. So the offsides whistled, much to the chagrin of the Badgers. Hurricanes take the ball back off the exchange. Little give and go, trying to find Avery. Good speed on the outside. Kicked out. Equipment flying in the air. And they'll have to do the throw in again as the ball, two balls, make their way onto the field. Bad exchange with the ballman there, so let's get it back down to one. And that's a chance for Merlette to trot down and take the throw. One squirts through, and it'll go over the end line for a goal kick. So I mentioned number 7, Lipinski, the one, the leading scorer. Keep an eye on him and his team-leading goal tally. 6 goals, 2 assists for him. Schober has a pair of goals and a pair of assists coming into play today. I believe he got his 3rd assist on the score, the only score of the game so far. So Schober, 2 goals. There's another deflection. This one followed up again. Another save by Sherry. 2 saves. He can't save the 3rd. Another goal for the Badgers. The ball just bouncing around like a... Trying to find the number for you here. Like a pinball table. There's that ball bouncing in and out, and good saves by Sherry, but he couldn't get the 3rd. That goal is going to be scored by number 12 for Spring Hill. Number 12 is Diogo Sousa. Spring Hill goal was scored by number 12, Diogo Sousa. So Sousa, for him, will be goal number 1 of the season. So Sousa puts the Badgers up 2-0. Just over 31 minutes to go until the end of the second half. Tillman has a couple of goals, as we were talking about. Giroux has a goal, a couple of assists. Judah Chapman, who hasn't seen action today, has a couple of goals for Spring Hill, as does Moreno has 1 goal. And both goals scored in the match today are first of the season for the 2 Spring Hill players. LD Cethetti scored the first goal of the match. That came in the 23rd minute off an assist by Schober, as I mentioned. And now they've got Pedretti down for the goal. I'll have to double check. Pedretti is 17. if it was Pedretti. If it was Pedretti, I don't see him on the stat sheet here. I thought it was 12. We'll have to double check. May have to even go back and watch the replay here on the YouTube channel. GSW Athletics, hub of the Surge Sports Network. 2-0 the score, 21-3. The shot tally, it's been heavy on the side of Spring Hill College. 9 shots on goal. The Hurricanes with a couple shots on goal so far in this one. Sherry's done an admirable job in between the pipes for the Hurricanes. He's stopped 7 so far. He's stayed busy, though, that's for sure. Corner kicks 4-2 in favor of Spring Hill at this point. 5 offsides whistled on the Badgers of Spring Hill College and only 2 on Georgia Southwestern. Fouls have been few and far between. Georgia Southwestern's been whistled twice, Spring Hill once, as we're under 30 minutes to go in half number 2. A corner kick coming up for the Hurricanes. Looks like Thiago Elias is going to take it. Elias. This will be corner kick number 3 of the match. And again, those live stats are available. I just read off the live stats feed. You can as well. If you'd like to open up another window in your browser, go to our website, gswcanes.com. gswcanes.com. If you're on a mobile device, there'll be a little calendar button up in the top right corner. Otherwise, if you're on a desktop, just scroll down to the scoreboard, find the live stats link, click it, and you are on your way. And you can have those numbers and stats in front of you. Follow your favorite player right along here with our video broadcast. Shot up over the goal and well out of play for the Hurricanes. They're going to stop the clock. Stoppage of the clock at 27:57. I guess the referee just wanted to have a word with the member of the Spring Hill roster on the field. Out to the side, the attempt by Elias. Little give and go. Badgers looking for goal number 3. On the attack again. Bach able to get it out of bounds. Throw in coming. Oh, bicycle kick just misses the mark. Good attempt there. I think that was number 19. Yep. George Brown with the attempt there to try to get on the board. His first goal of the evening. Slightly off the mark to the left, and Sherry will put it down and kick it away. Coming near side here towards our tower. Ball intercepted. Nice feed to, Hurricanes dodge a bullet. What a pass and what an attempt. Just over the crossbar. I think it got a piece of it as it rolled right over the top. And out of play. That was a pretty exchange, just unable to capitalize. Brown at it again. And it'll be a substitution for, nope, stop the clock. He's got to get to the table, Coach. He's got to get to the table. Come on. Come on. So a little miscommunication as they get the sub in. They're trying to get in a player. Can't quite just come off the bench and walk on the field, though. There is a process to getting there and checking in, and I think there was a little miscommunication there. Checking in for... Who was that? That was 18, wasn't it? And a goal scored just like that. 18 is Herrera, but that wasn't on the back of the jersey. It was DeCroy who had the back of his jersey. So a goal for Spring Hill. That'll be goal number 3 in the match. And finally, it looks like George Brown has got that one in the G column. He's been teasing it all match. Had a couple of close opportunities, and this time he got the goal he was looking for. Spring Hill goal scored by number 19, George Brown. 3-0 the score in favor of Spring Hill. Well, this one's getting away from the Hurricanes. A couple of second-half scores here has put the Badgers in control. Georgia Southwestern will see if they can at least get a little offense going. Avery gets around one man, had a look, decides to bring it back in the middle. Left foot shot and save. So Ardelli falls to his left and falls on that rolling shot by Avery to make the save. Going to stop. Oh, they're going to call him on. He hasn't stopped the clock yet. They're calling on for the trainer to make his way to the field. Athletic trainer Bryce Lawson heading out, as will the head coach for the Spring Hill Badgers check on his injured player at this time. While they're checking on the injured man, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Hurricanes. Hopefully he'll be all right. We hope the player is okay. Medical attention there. I mentioned this is the end of a 3-match homestand for the Hurricanes, and they're going to follow this up with 3 on the road. So they weren't able to take advantage of the home cooking. Peach Belt Conference play starts on the 22nd with a trip to Clayton State, followed by a non-conference affair at Point University. Hopefully a good matchup. We've had some common opponents, and the results have been similar, so that should be a good non-conference affair. Back to action with the Peach Belt Conference leading, I think we'll see that stat in a minute, where we are at the Peach Belt standings. Young Harris road trip, that'll be a tough one for the Hurricanes, but we'll see if we can pull off an upset of one of the big dogs and perennial powers in the conference. And then, as I mentioned, back home on Wednesday the 3rd, August 3rd, first Wednesday of the month, Shaw University. That's an afternoon match. So make sure you make note that that'll be our only afternoon match here at Hurricane Field this season. USC Aiken opens up our home portion of Peach Belt Conference play on October 6th. And then it's a trip to Francis Marion. So that's the next 6 matches for the Hurricanes. The injured player, Lipinski, leading scorer. Boy, I hope he'll be all right for Spring Hill. Walking very gingerly and not putting any pressure on that left foot. Man, I hope he's okay. We'll take a full look at the standings a little later. But I mentioned Young Harris. They are up on top of the conference at 6-0. Lander at 4-0 are the only two undefeated teams in the conference. And again, perennial powers of Peach Belt Conference play, so be a tough feat there. Young Harris is a road match. Lander is a home match later in the season, so a couple of the tougher Peach Belt games. They're all going to be a challenge, of course. Competitive NCAA Division II conference. Those are two of the currently the top dogs in the PBC. So ball is down, play resumes, clock starts. And we're back in action. Hurricanes, we got a sub for Spring Hill actually coming in. It's going to be number 15. Konstantinos Varasis. Spring Hill substitution checking into the match is number 15, Konstantinos Varasis. Varasis from Athens, Greece. Freshman. This one's coming up to the media table, just to the left of our, drifted back, was just to the left of our production area, if you will, our large mobile box unit, as well as got a little close to Miss Shabrika running the graphics up here. Putting all the graphics on the screen for you, running the camera switch. She's working hard, and our camera operators tonight, as they have been all season long and will be, Gabrielle and Sarah running the show, so lone man up top here tonight. Turn, fires, deflection, and then off the post. Elvis tries to get on the board for the Hurricanes. They got a runner down the left side. Vodka heads it away. Under 20, or actually coming up on under 19 left in the match. Another cross, far post. I think it's going to stay in play. And here comes Avery as he'll dribble it up a little bit. Tries to squirt it through to no avail, trying to catch Marshall on the run, his teammate. Cross headed away. Running it down will be the Badgers on the far side. A little shake and bake. Now it'll be deflected out for a corner kick. I was going to say, quickly put in play, try to catch the Hurricanes napping. The header, right to Sherry, who was in the right position. Just in the right spot to wait for that one to come to him. Man down, tough collision with Avery. Man, thankfully back up. That was Pedretti, who was down momentarily, who collided with Chris Avery of the Hurricanes. 25-6 is the shot differential at this point in the match. 11-3 shots on goal, favoring Spring Hill College. Spring Hill will have actually both teams are going to have substitutions here at the next opportunity. They're going to stop the clock, stop the clock. Stop the clock. Yellow card will be issued to Sasha Ducroy with the yellow card. Again, at the next opportunity, both teams will make some substitutions. Madre and Duran looking to come in for the Hurricanes. Chapman to come in for Spring Hill. Judah Chapman, the freshman from Bermuda. Shot attempt, going to drift wide. And the Hurricanes will, in fact, take advantage of this corner kick to make their substitution. Both sides. Substitutions for both teams. Checking back into the match for the Hurricanes. Number 8, Shane Madre. Number 16, Manuel Duran. And for Spring Hill, it'll be number 25, Judah Chapman. Well, Chapman's got a couple of goals. He's getting his first, I believe, his first sniff of action here tonight. Off the corner, Hurricanes can't contain it. Big kick out front. This could be trouble. Botka will get there and kick it off towards the sideline. Harris gets there before it'll go out, and he'll bring it back up. It's a good sign to see number 7, Jonathan Sayers, back on the field. Sayers was battling a foot injury. Man, that's actually good news. I thought he was going to be out for several weeks, so this is great news to see Jonathan Sayers out there. Hopefully he'll be healthy and able to come back and get in the starting rotation. Sayers has started. Sayers starting 5 matches, 5 of the Hurricanes' 6 matches. He sat out the last one. Header attempt. Nope. Actually, I think they got him for a foul on that one. Marshall going to get whistled for one. Before we're in the closing minutes here, our next, we'll take a peek at the Peach Belt Conference standings in just a moment. See where the Hurricanes are as we're creeping into Peach Belt Conference play. Still no matches in the PBC have been played. The Hurricanes kind of find themselves in the mix overall, but of course we'll see how it'll go. Chapman with a little footwork, spinning, finds a man, gets it back. Quick reset. Not quite yet. Marching towards goal, lots of white jerseys. See if they can squirt one through. Deflection. Bring it back out. So as we take a look at that Peach Belt standings, as I mentioned, Georgia Southwestern right there in the middle of the pack. 2, 3, and 1 up at the top. Young Harris undefeated. Lander undefeated as well. North Georgia 3, 1 and 1. They've got a couple of results, and then several teams sitting with one win this season, including Aiken, Francis Marion, Clayton State, and Flagler. Clayton State did get a draw there as well to put their mark at 1, 4, and 1, and that's a look at the Peach Belt Conference standings as we resume action. You didn't miss much right in the middle of the field. Not a whole lot going on. It's been a comfortable lead here for Spring Hill. Georgia Southwestern with a couple of looks in the second half, here late especially, to try to punch one through. But the Hurricanes appear to be on their way to their third consecutive loss. Try to right the ship on the road. They're going to have to do it on the road, though. And it looks like both teams will finally get the sub in. They've been waiting to get a few players in here. Checking in the bench for the Hurricanes, number 13, Pedro Chung. And number 22, Austin Martinez. Substitution for Spring Hill, number 27, Nicholas Wandel. Or Vandal, perhaps I might have said that better. First look for Martinez, first look for Vandal. Wandel. My apologies if I got that off a little bit. As we'll get a good 10 minutes plus of action on the pitch here this evening. As we close in on that final whistle. Georgia Southwestern with a little something. They were down 3-4 on the numbers, 3-4, and ultimately lose out on that battle. Next up for Spring Hill College is going to be a Gulf South matchup against a familiar foe, the University of Montevallo. That'll come up actually a week from Friday, so they've got about a week and a half before they'll play again. They're at Montevallo. I say familiar because Montevallo, I just recently left the Peach Belt Conference to go back to the Gulf South, a conference they were a member of for a number of years. Then they came over, played in the Peach Belt. I don't recall exactly how long. It feels probably about close to a decade here in the Peach Belt, and now back to the Gulf South Conference. So the Montevallo Falcons, a road trip for Spring Hill, but again, that comes 11 days from now. Spring Hills already has two, well, actually one. They got a rain out there when they were supposed to take on Christian Brothers, but they're 1-0 in Gulf South Conference play. Again, GSW has yet to start, as the whole conference has yet to start conference play. On the men's side, they're down to just 8 programs with the loss of Montevallo. So 8 programs in men's soccer. Shot deflection, and it'll roll to Sherry. He'll scoop it up. A couple of extra programs on the women's side. Georgia College. And they'll get the offsides there. Columbus State. Both universities and institutions with women's soccer, but not men's. A couple more subs. Time called. Stoppage of the clock at 8:02 on the official match clock. So a couple extra seconds. We'll catch back up on the game on our broadcast clock in just a moment, but just a few seconds off there. Doesn't look like it'll make a whole bit of difference. So we try to sync it back up with the scoreboard. Now there'll be some substitutions for both teams. Checking back into the match for the Hurricanes, number 19, Divin Moak. Checking in for Spring Hill College will be number 28, Hakur Bjornsson. So a couple of, well, Bjornsson's a new face. Moak has seen plenty of action tonight for the Hurricanes on the pitch. It's just over 7 minutes to go until this one will be official. Little give and go. Try to bring it back to the middle. Intercepted by Martinez. And that one will run for a throw in. Checking into the match for the Hurricanes is number 24, Nicholas Munoz Ramirez. So Munoz Ramirez gets his first action of the evening. Nice cross, flick back. Appearing in his third match now of the spring is Munoz Ramirez. Ooh, get it out of there. Sherry falls on it. 5.5 left in this one. Couple more substitutions at the next opportunity. And if it is, in fact, if it is a substitution strictly for Spring Hill, the clock should stop with them out comfortably ahead. Leading team making the substitution this late in the match. NCAA puts a stop on the clock. But, yep, and it's just Spring Hill players at this point. See if the referee will call for it. Or at this point, if he'll just sneakily let it run down. A match comfortably in hand for Spring Hill College. Shot up over the crossbar. And yes, in fact, stoppage of the clock. All over it. The official crew here stops it at 4:15 on the scoreboard. Multiple substitutions for Spring Hill College. So a number of players come into the match. I see number 9, number 16. So Lucha Carece from Portugal. Number 16 would be Dante Oliver, a junior from New Orleans, Louisiana. Also checking in at this time. Bringing it back, gets in the way. Looks like he might have crossed the end line before he could get back in play. So the Hurricanes do get possession off of the whistle. All right, ball stop, ball down, ball back in play. Final 3 minutes of this one. Into the corner, Spring Hill bring it down. Cross, get it. Oof, almost an own goal. Hurricanes tried to clear it off the foot, inside of the foot, and back up over the crossbar. Perhaps just a little left of the goal as well. Corner kick coming up for Spring Hill. This will be corner kick number 6 of the evening. This one's well past the goal and to the other side of the field. They'll bring it back in. Try to find a target. It'll be another corner kick, however. Seventh corner of the night for the Badgers. They hold a 7-4 lead in that category now, as we're under 2 minutes to go. This one a low kick. Chance for the Hurricanes to clear. Now Moak almost had a chance to basically set him up for a chance to get past one defender. It would have been him and one more defender to get past, and he would have had a one-on-one with the keep waiting for him, but it doesn't turn out that way. Spring Hill not satisfied. They're going to try to go in and attack for goal number 4. Dribble in just in the corner of the 18. Back to the outside, flicks it away. One minute remaining in the match. 1 minute. Final countdown coming up. Some Badgers will be happy to hold on to it. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So with that, tonight's match will come to a close. The visiting Badgers from Spring Hill College will pick up the win. 3-0 your final. We are going to send it to the folks here in attendance with a quick adios, a quick goodbye for those that are here in attendance, and we'll come back. So hang with us for just a moment. We'll come back and wrap this one up from Hurricane Field. 3-0 your final in this non-conference matchup. You're watching Georgia Southwestern State University's men's soccer on the Surge Sports Network. Post-game wrap-up coming up in just one moment.
That'll do it for tonight's match, ladies and gentlemen. Non-conference affair. The visiting Badgers from Spring Hill College 3-0 in this one. Don't forget, you can't catch the Hurricanes at home again until the first Wednesday of October, October 3rd. Now that's the only day match on the schedule for this season. It's a 3:30 midweek start, so you may have to scoot out of work a little early that day. 3:30, again, that's Wednesday, October 3rd. That's the next chance to catch the men at home. If you can't make it on Wednesday, catch them that same Saturday, October 6th, when we're back under the lights to take on USC Aiken in Peach Belt Conference play. You can find the full schedule on our website, gswcanes.com, gswcanes.com. We thank you for being here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be heading. Please, we hope you get there safely, because we want to see you back here on October 3rd. Have a great night. We'll talk to you then.
So let's get a little camera action on the huddle here as we wrap things up from Hurricane Field. The result, well, not so good if you're a Hurricane fan. However, I guess if you look at the positive, left a couple goals off the board compared to this time last year when these two teams met. That was a 5-1 decision in Mobile, Alabama, the home of the Badgers. Tonight, though, still a comfortable decision for the visitors. 3-0, the final score here from Hurricane Field. We'll take a final look here at the stats. If you aren't watching the live stats at home and didn't have a chance to check it out, this is how the stat tally finished off in this one. Shots favored the visiting Badgers 26-7. Shots on goal also favoring Spring Hill College 12-3. Saves 9 overall. Sherry, the keeper for the Hurricanes, had to make 6. The team gets credit for 3 additional saves. Have little help from his teammates on 3 of those attempts. 9 saves overall compared to 3 for Spring Hill College. Corner kicks favored the Badgers as well, 7-4 in that category. Offside, 6 were whistled against Spring Hill, only 2 by the Hurricanes. Fouls, fairly close. Georgia Southwestern whistled for 1 extra infraction, 5 for the foul tally. There was 1 yellow card in the match, and it came against Spring Hill College. The yellow card was issued. Let's see if we got it in the feed here. I don't see it, but it was not a factor in the match. 1 goal in the first half for Spring Hill. They took the early lead. The first goal of the match coming in just at the start of the 23rd minute. The goal scored by, LD Siedi for Spring Hill. Tillman Schober gets credit for the assist, a little cross that squirted right through. The pass from Schober was a little closer in than a corner kick, but it was off a free kick from that end of the field, that close to the end line. So it wasn't a corner, just a little bit in from a corner, probably 5-10 yards in from a corner kick or thereabouts. And it squirted through the GSW defense to the far post, and there was Siedi waiting to tap it in. He caught it up high, jumped up, caught it on the inside of his foot, and punched it in. 1-0 the score at the break. Second half goals were scored. This one's showing Pedretti. We'll have to check the replay. I thought maybe Sousa got that second goal. That one came just at the beginning of the 60th minute, put the Badgers up 2-0, and then the final blow, the final shot of the match, final goal of the match came in the 67th minute, and that was George Brown who got the score for Spring Hill. With the win, the visiting Badgers improved to 5-1 overall. They have now won their last two. They're 5-1 overall. Members of the Gulf South Conference, again, as I said earlier, 1-0 in their conference action. Georgia Southwestern with the loss has now dropped their third straight match to 4-1 overall for Coach Russ and the Hurricanes. They'll look to get back on the winning side of the tracks, but it'll have to come on the road again. A trip to Clayton State coming up this weekend, 3:30. The start time on Saturday from Morrow, Georgia. So that'll be that for them. 3 in a row, as a matter of fact, on the road for the Hurricanes. The 22nd, which is Saturday, the 26th at Point. So a non-conference game mixed in, sandwiched between those tilts with Clayton State, and then on the 29th, a week from Saturday, at Young Harris. So 3 matches on the road. We'll try to keep you abreast of what's happening. Don't forget, the best way to do that is just check us out online. GSWCanes.com is the website, your home for Georgia Southwestern Athletics, and GSW Men's Soccer. Again, the website is GSWCanes.com. If you don't want to, if you can't get break free on the 3rd, October the 3rd, the next home match, subscribe to our channel. That way, when we go live, you can choose to go to receive a notification that we, in fact, have gone on the air, we've gone live, and we are broadcasting, and then you can tune in and watch the action when we play our final non-conference match of this season. That'll come against Shaw University. Shaw University, the Bears, on October 3rd. Again, that's the first Wednesday of October. Thanks for tuning in. Final score once again from Hurricane Field, Spring Hill College 3, Georgia Southwestern 0. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We'll catch up with you on the 3rd. You have been watching Georgia Southwestern State University Men's Soccer right here on the Surge Sports Network.